It's a busy day in the Slightly Delusional Club. You can feel the tension. You can feel the just hanging on every single word. Today's a big day. The English Premier League starts this Friday. And I have I've reached a decision. Some are calling it the decision. Many people are calling it that. Of course, LeBron in 2010 did the decision. Now, what's funny about that? You might hear that. And think to yourself that I'm copying LeBron in some way. That's not true, actually. Flashback to 2010. I'm 14 years old. I had the idea for this already. I do 14 years into the future. I'd be doing this. I did a poor person's trademark where I mailed it to myself in an envelope. That envelope must have been stolen in transit by LeBron James and his people. So that's what happened here. It's not the English Premier League. They have players from all over the world. It's the World League. Okay. Following the wrong league. Best league in football is La Liga. Best team in the world is Real Madrid, the dream team of Europe soccer. Imagine watching Luka, Giannis, and LeBron on the same team weekly. That's not fun. Disappointed you aren't going Brighton, especially considering their new manager was born in Texas. That's interesting. That disagreement is why Slightly didn't get on the U.S. Olympic team. A big reason why, yeah. It's all politics at the end of the day, man. You know, it's all politics. London Hoops with $9.99. I'm a Man United fan, but being honest, Tottenham Spurs are cursed. Arsenal are a good team, but trigger warning. Have a player who is a rapper, and the club can still play him. West Ham is the team for you. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. You say that. I will be milking this. We won't be making my decision first. I have a couple of things I want to talk about today. I wanted to do a bracket today. FC Dallas. I wanted to do a bracket today. I was hopeful that NBAU would have his best defender bracket ready, but I was told that it's not ready yet, and that it's going to be a whole event. It's not going to be how it's been in the past couple years. It's going to be a full-fledged event. So I'm excited about that. Let's do this. Streaks NBA edition. Get one wrong and you're done. All right. Let's start the stream here with this. I'm not going to look at the chat. We're just going to go. I'm going to get all of this. Which of these countries has never produced an NBA player? Iceland, Serbia, Croatia, USA. I'm going to assume Iceland. All right. That's a little sneaky one. The Utah Jazz player just signed the biggest contract in team history. All right. Marketing. This is easy. This former NBA player competed in beach volleyball in the 2024 Olympics. That is Chase Budinger. The Cavs recently hired this head coach who used to coach the Brooklyn Nets. That is Kenny Atkinson. Nice hire. Good hire by them. This legendary Raptor is third all-time in NBA games played. Is Vince Carter really third all time? Well, that's actually surprising to me. The NBA has one active player from New Zealand. Who is it? That, my friends, is Steven Adams. This is easy, man. Who has made the second most threes in Warriors franchise history? That's got to be Clay. Where did John Morant play his college basketball? That is Murray State. This is a joke. It's for toddlers. Who led the NBA assist in the 2010s? Gotta be Russ. Okay. Who led the NBA assists in the 2000s? Well, it has to be Nash, right? But it could easily be Kidd. No! Fuck. Damn it. Is Podol still a thing? Podol. Jesus. Is Pirtle still a thing? This is what it looks like now? Luka Doncic. All right, how does this work again? I honestly forgot how this worked. All right, so they're not even in. They're in the East. They're taller than 6'7". They're older than 25. And I'm guessing they're a center. I'm just going to guess. You know what? We'll guess Pirtle. Oh, my God. Eastern Conference Atlantic Division center. Okay, I honestly forgot what these are. Does this mean I'm within 2, right? Okay, so he's not on the... Fuck, I'm so bad with divisions, dude. He's not on the Raptors, but he's a center. He's around 28 years old. I'm so bad with numbers as well. Capella? I probably shouldn't be looking at the chat, huh? All right, that's the wrong division. Thank you, though. He's 30. 30 years old. Is this Embiid? Hey, Joel Embiid. I honestly didn't. For some reason, anytime I play Pirtle, I just kind of assume that it's going to be an obscure player. So I never want to guess. What up, Hunter? I never want to guess like a big time player. There you go. Mr. Joel Embiid. We have some other news. We know the Mavericks opening night game is going to be against the San Antonio Spurs. I don't want to dive too deep into this simply due to the fact that I'll be talking about it on a stream tomorrow for Bleacher Report, and honestly, it's just so boring to me to talk about. It's so boring for me to talk about the schedule stuff. It just is. It's so boring to me. Grant Williams G1 Wemby last season will be remembered. Yeah. I do like the Mavs vs. Spurs first game. It's fun. That's a fun little rivalry. Wemby, Mavs, Spurs historically. And, you know, probably only a year or two away from that Spurs team really becoming a serious team. And that could be a fun... Yeah, Bleacher Report's working for me. That could be a fun little rivalry down the road. That could be a fun little rivalry. Speaking of Bleacher Report, let's react to this. I love reacting to some Bleacher Report articles. And you guys got to understand, coming up with shit like this is not easy. Shout out to our man Grant Hughes. Coming up with stuff like this, it's difficult. You know, everybody's going to hate you. You know that it's going to be it's going to be screenshotted, it's going to be posted onto Twitter, and everyone's going to make fun of you. But you do it anyways. And really, you just got to, you got to bite the bullet. Do you think a Wordle type of game, but it's just basketball reference stats would be cool? So you guess the player based off of their basketball reference page? That would be fun, yeah. I'm sure there's something like that out there already. Yeah, anything but fanspo. All right, I honestly don't know what's in this article at all. I just thought it'd be interesting to react to it. The NBA offseason is winding down, but several teams don't quite seem like finished products yet. The Los Angeles Lakers' failure to net a third star leaves them looking feeble in an increasingly difficult Western Conference. Now, I just want to say, I actually think the offseason is over. There might be one or two things here and there. Patty Mills signed a contract today. Congratulations to Patty Mills. I'm terrible at the Immaculate Grid. I would just embarrass myself. My brain just doesn't work like that. Congratulations to Patty Mills on a new contract. FIBA Patty. Zach LaVine to the Lakers. Los Angeles Lakers acquire Zach LaVine from the Chicago Bulls for Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, and Jackson Hayes. That's gross. That's disturbing. Are we even sure that... I mean, obviously, Zach LaVine's a better basketball player than Austin Reeves, but... Are we like... If you're really trying to win a basketball game, this would be trading for a star-level player just for the sake of doing it. Or somebody who is considered, or at one point was considered a star-level player. If you're Chicago, you do this in an instant. Kawhi Leonard to the Warriors. Oh, God. Golden State Warriors acquire Kawhi Leonard from the LA Clippers for Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton, Kevon Looney, Moses Moody, a 2028 first, 2030 first, and a 2029 pick swap. Okay. That would be interesting, I guess. Both sides say no to this one. It would depend on how desperate Golden State really is. They wouldn't trade, or rumored at least, that they wouldn't even include Podziemski for Lauri Markkanen, who I would rather, obviously Kawhi's a better player than Lauri, but I'd rather have Markkanen at this point in time than Kawhi Leonard. And I know Podziemski's not even listed in here, but the reason why I'm saying that is if the Warriors were truthfully desperate, like as desperate as some people think that they are, I think that they would have made that work somehow. I just don't think that they're this desperate to trade all the picks they have left for Kawhi. Like, you're really going for it. And I still feel like... I still feel like that just doesn't put them where they need to be. Did the Clippers say no to this? Let's think about it. Did the Clippers say no to this? I think part of the reason they would say no is because they're going into a new stadium. They don't want to completely and totally rebuild and just go into a rebuild. Entering a new stadium, a new era. This also, like, they would bottom out. They'd be terrible. Kawhi being healthy is, like, the only reason... that they would have any chance at contending. And they're not going to be contenders. Just telling you that right now. But if you were, like, selling Kawhi, what would a Kawhi trade even look like at this point? Would a Kawhi trade net, like, a huge ransom? Or would it be, like, similar-esque to the Kyrie trade? Where it's, like... You're trading for a guy that you know is really good, but there's some questions there. 2 picks and role players. I guess it would depend. Like a team like let's say Kawhi was on the market and the Knicks traded for him, and their big package instead of Mikal Bridges was Kawhi Leonard. That would have been crazy. That to me propels them into another stratosphere, assuming Kawhi's healthy. Those picks will be lottery picks. Clippers say yes. That is true. These well, you would think be pretty valuable picks, but that's also 6 years from now. You have no idea. 3 first-round picks and all-star level young players. I'd be interested to see what a Kawhi trade market looked like. I could see it going one of two ways. It could be teams say, hey, if he's healthy, he makes us a championship team, so we'll trade a lot for him and we'll take the risk. Or I could see teams being like, we don't want to fucking risk that. 3 first-round picks for $50 million injured Kawhi. Man, I wouldn't love my team doing it, but I would also love it at the same time, if that made sense. Anthony Simons to the Orlando Magic. This one has been mocked around for like 2 years now. Orlando Magic acquire Anthony Simons from the Portland Trailblazers for Anthony Black, Cole Anthony, 2025 first. I think the Magic say no to this. I think the Magic say no. Anthony Simons is a great player, but I'm sure that they're really high on Anthony Black, who had some moments last year. Cole Anthony, whatever, in a honestly not that great of a pick. 2025 Denver pick. It's like not that good of a pick. Probably going to be in the 20s. So it's basically would Orlando want to trade Anthony Black for Anthony Simons? I actually think no, to be honest with you. And I like Anthony Simons. Anthony Black torched the Mavericks, got that Dallas boost. Yeah, true. Suggs, KCP, Franz, Paolo, Mo. They're going to try to get a Capella-esque. Suggs or Wimby? Jesus Christ. A player can be better for a season. They should trade Franz for Anthony Simons. Good God. They could hide Anthony Simons defensively. But here's the thing. Is the way that they built their team, I don't think they want to hide anybody. I think that they want to build their team around. We have nobody who has to hide defensively, and that's how we play basketball. So because of that, I don't think Anthony Simons would be the move. I feel like if they wanted somebody like this, they could have easily gotten somebody like this offseason. You know, they could have told D'Angelo Russell, hey, we'll pay you more than what your option is. They went out and got a guy like KCP because he fit what they were trying to do. Dorian Finney-Smith to the Cavs. Dodo! Cleveland Cavaliers acquired Dorian Finney-Smith from the Brooklyn Nets for George Niang and 4 second-round picks. Well, yeah, I think the Cavs would do this in a heartbeat. The Cavs would easily do this. The Nets, I don't know. Are the Nets, wasn't it the trade deadline? They said the Nets turned down 2 first-round picks for Dorian, or that's what they were looking for at least. I still feel like they could get a first from somebody at the deadline. Maybe not a good first, but a first nonetheless. Cavs should definitely do that. Nets were saying they were only taking multiple firsts for him. Yeah, but that's probably different now. He's definitely going to get traded by the deadline. But we said that last deadline, then we said that in the offseason. I don't know. I really don't know. But Dodo would be really nice on the Cavs, though. He kind of fits exactly what they need. Really, any of those forwards on the Nets. Cam Johnson, I think that's what I predicted in the offseason. What did the Cavs do? The Cavs brought back everyone. Who did they bring in? Did the Cavs bring anybody in? I'm trying to remember. I really don't think they did they? Ayo Dosunmu to the Bucks. Interesting. Milwaukee Bucks acquire Ayo Dosunmu from the Chicago Bulls for Pat Connaughton in a 2031 pick swap. Would you do that if you're Chicago? I feel like now you brought in Giddey. So now you do have like a bunch of guards. Kobe White, Zach LaVine is still on the roster. Dosunmu and obviously Giddey. And the Bucks, that would be a really, really nice gift for them. I think Milwaukee would do this in a heartbeat. I don't know if the Bulls would, though. Because what's his contract? He's got a nice contract. It's pretty cheap. Bulls should play out first half of the season and move guys at the deadline. That is true. I mean, nobody's making trades right now. $7 million a year right now. $7 million this upcoming season, 7.5, 2025, 2026. A pretty damn good contract. Oh yeah, Lonzo too. I forgot Lonzo's there. I don't know what his status is, but some interesting trades. At this point of the season, you have to commend somebody for still pulling trades out of their ass. I would say the Lakers should absolutely say no to this deal. The Bulls should say yes. I honestly have no clue about this. I do think both teams would say no to a Kawhi trade, but I have no clue what a Kawhi trade would look like. I mean, you could tell me 4 different outcomes. Anthony Simons, I actually think Orlando would not do this. I think this would be okay for Portland. Dodo, I kind of feel like this is pretty good for both sides. Like 4 second-round picks. George Niang, maybe at the trade deadline you could get a first from somebody, but you would trade D-Live, 4 first-round picks and pick swaps for Kawhi? Oh, my God. You're talking out of your ass. Another Bleacher Report article. I'm really milking this, folks. Another Bleacher Report article. One reason not to overlook every NBA team for the 2024-2025 season, and it starts with these two teams, ironically enough. I'm overlooking them. Where are they? Oh, they're way down there. I'm not looking at them. I'm looking over them. Atlanta Hawks, lineup versatility. Pinpointing an exact direction for the Atlanta Hawks remains somewhat difficult. Yep, that's about right. They do have some versatility, you know. Jalen Johnson, Risa Shea, Dyson Daniels even. I'm happy to I'm going to enjoy watching Trey go out there and just ball without having to worry about DeJounte Murray being there, anchoring him fucking down to the ground. And that's right. Boston Celtics, they are the rightful favorites to win it all again. Brooklyn Nets, tanking promises plenty of experimentation. That is true, man. Interested to see how many shots Cam Thomas puts up there. Gonna have some young guys out there, but you know, I don't know how exciting some of these young guys are. Thinking of like, I forgot that they traded for Zaire Williams, but Noah Clowney. What's going on with Dariq Whitehead? Charlotte Hornets, they've quietly assembled a real rotation. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The people, I've noticed this on Twitter. People are starting to catch on just a tiny bit. People are starting to catch on just a tiny bit. Now, you guys know that I've been very pro Charlotte Hornets over the years, and every single year I picked them to be better than Vegas thinks. Every year I say, this is a sneaky play-in team. This is a sneaky playoff team. I think last year I had them close to being top 6 in the Eastern Conference, so that was a fuck-up on my part. Are the Hornets going to be good? Every year. But you know what? They have quietly built, just like Bleacher Report says, they've quietly assembled a real rotation. If LaMelo's healthy, year 2 of Brandon Miller. Don't forget about Mark Williams, Miles Bridges back in the fold. Pretty big contract. Don't sleep is all I'm saying. Josh Green is a starter. Well, we saw what Josh Green did in the Olympics, or rather what he didn't do, which is anything basketball related. Chicago Bulls, what if Lonzo Ball is actually healthy? Well, if that's if that is the one reason to not overlook the Chicago Bulls, and that's sad. And I feel sad for my Chicago Bulls fans, brethren out there. Feel bad for you guys if that's the one thing that we have to look forward to. Cleveland Cavaliers, the Big Four is not even close to peaked. I wonder what they mean by this, because they were flirting with some really, really high highs in regular season moments and have just disappointed in the playoffs. And maybe you can make the argument that that's who they are in the playoffs. There's definitely an argument that they can't really coexist, these four. You definitely should still try it out. They're all young enough that you owe it to yourself to really kind of ride this thing out. But this will be a pretty big make or break year, I think. If they sort of sputter out in the playoffs again, somebody's got to go. All four of them are locked up under contract. So it'd have to be trades, but need a bounce back year from DG to PG. He was disappointing last year. One of the most disappointing players in the entire sport. And we're waiting for this Mobley breakout. Dallas Mavericks, they improved the offense without compromising the defense. Oh, well, okay. All right. Hey. You said it. I'm not entirely convinced just yet, but okay. And if that's true, they improved the offense without compromising the defense. We're talking about a team that just made the NBA Finals. Got better offensively while still staying as good defensively. Keep in mind when you're saying over the back, final quarter of the season, they were the best defense in the entire sport. Now, I don't know if that's really who they are, to be honest with you, but if they're top 10 in both offense and defense, that's definitely possible. That's definitely realistic. That's an NBA championship caliber team right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is a NBA championship caliber team. Najee Marshall signing will go down as the best for the team this offseason. I could definitely see Najee Marshall being I just now realized I had top chat open, so I haven't even been reading all the chats. It's definitely a contender for being the best signing of the offseason. Najee Marshall. All right, interesting. I mean, that's high praise right there. Denver Nuggets, the starting five will remain absolute fire. So any starting five with Jokic is going to perform. We know that. But it might take a hit. It might take a little bit of a hit this year. It's consistently been the best starting five in basketball, numbers-wise, when they're out there. But they lost KCP, and Jamal Murray looks a step slow right now. So we'll see. We shall see. Depth is a problem for them. But, at the same time, if a couple of their young guys hit and really take strides, then they'll be really fucking good. I'm a little scared of them. In a bad way. For the Nuggets. Like, I'm scared for them, I guess I should say. Detroit Pistons, actual floor spacing has arrived. This is true. And trash can me thinking about this a couple days ago. I saw some clips about Cade Cunningham on the timeline. There's some, deep in my stomach, there's some potential play-in buzz here. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to pick it, but there's something in my brain that's telling me, could this be a sneaky 10 seed? Could this be a sneaky 10 seed? Think about it. Think about it. Cade Cunningham's really that guy. Simone Fontecchio is a baller. Yeah, Fontecchio's good. He can shoot. They brought in Malik Beasley. They brought in Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris. So the shooting should be better, and that's been a big problem for them. Golden State Warriors, their rotation should be deeper. I mean, the rotation's deeper. It like went from a puddle to maybe a slightly larger puddle, but it's a puddle of shit. Like it's not what you want. Just really not that in on them. Houston Rockets, basically everyone on this roster will get better. It's an interesting way to look at it. Ton of young talent, we know that. Şengün flirted with an All-Star game nod last year. I mean, Thompson, one of the better rookie defenders we've seen in quite some time, non-big rookie defenders. Jabari Smith definitely showed us some flashes. Cam Whitmore showed us some flashes. Jalen Green showed us some flashes. I'm not entirely sure that this is something you can 100% bank on, but yeah, they still have like a weird, who's the guy there? Do they have the guy? And if you want to start winning, you need the guy. The idea of having a bunch of young guys who could be the guy is fun, but then when you actually need the guy, it's not so fun anymore. Indiana Pacers, continuity can spur progress. I actually like the Pacers quite a bit coming into this season. Halliburton, Siakam for a full season, Miles Turner. Let's not forget, Ben Math's coming back. Nimhard, we're all kind of expecting a breakout. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Los Angeles Clippers, this team should caps lock defend. Los Angeles Clippers, are you in need of a nap? Put them on. They're going to be boring, folks. They're going to be boring. They should be pretty good defensively, though. Derek Jones Jr., they brought in Chris Dunn, Kawhi, if he's out there. Terrence Mann, good defender. Los Angeles Lakers, the top of the roster is close. I mean, we saw in the Olympics, like LeBron still looks like a top 7 player in the sport. We know AD's in the top 10 or right around it. Yeah, look what the Mavs did for Derek Jones Jr.'s reputation, man. Oh, yeah, Nick Batum on the Clippers again. That's right. The tough silver lining for the Lakers. Yeah, but Kumar, I'm timing you out for just a time. I'm just putting you in timeout for a little bit. You know, just a little. Memphis Grizzlies, availability only goes up from here. Knock on glass. Knock on glass. John Morant played 9 games. He could play 0. The Grizzlies will be fun to watch. Miami Heat, contract year Jimmy, you say. I'll believe Jimmy Butler really putting forth effort in the regular season at a consistent level when I see it, okay? Let's be honest. If Jimmy Butler does the normal Jimmy Butler regular season shtick, he's still getting a massive bag in the offseason, okay? Milwaukee Bucks, last year's decline was overblown. I actually do agree with this. I think the Bucks are actually heavily slept on currently. Their over-under, I think, is 50, which they won 49 games last year, despite how disappointing they felt. I feel like they're going to crush that. Like, I feel like they're going to crush 50. I feel like they'll crush it. Gary Trent Jr. on a minimum is great. I like DeLon Wright quite a bit for them. Dame will regress even further. It's possible, but it's also possible they grow a little bit more comfortable with each other. Minnesota Timberwolves, they may have addressed their biggest issue. You know what you're really talking about when you're talking about Dillingham stepping in immediately and addressing their biggest issue, which I'm guessing is going to be on-ball creation. Spacing, on-ball creation, and shot-making deficits each plagued Minnesota last season to varying extremes. That's a lot on the plate of a rookie who's 160 pounds. I like him. He's fun to watch. This feels more like hopefully in 2 to 3 years, Dillingham can be our starting point guard when Mike Conley's retired. think there's some space for some regression for the Timberwolves, the more I think about it. Unless Ant takes a massive step forward, which is possible. New Orleans Pelicans, a more dynamic offense. This is true. They desperately need a center. He desperately needs a center. They desperately need a center. Until then, they're just a TBD. New York Knicks, lineup flexibility galore. Yeah, they should be able to throw quite a bit out there. But the moment Mitchell Robinson goes down with an injury, I guess that will make them even more flexible because they're just going to be throwing shit at a wall. You're not a Messi believer? No, I'm very much not a believer in centers coming in immediately and impacting, unless it's my team. Oklahoma City Thunder, this might be the most complete team in the league. What's Giddey doing there? Yeah, they might be. They might be the most complete team in the league. I saw somebody bring this up, and it made you think. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, second in MVP voting. Everyone, including myself, think J-Dub's hovering around top 20 in the league. Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, Cason Wallace, all incredible defenders. Chet Holmgren. People refer to him as the, if it weren't for Wemby, he would be the talk of the town in terms of young bigs in the league. There better be a ring in the coming years. I think almost anything short is a disappointment, which is a testament to how good of a job they've done building their team. This feels like locked 1 seed. They should be the 1 seed. They definitely should be the 1 seed. Orlando Magic, the league's second best defense, got better. That's true. I'm in on the Magic, man. I'm in on them. Fanatics, stand up. It's going to be a big year for us. Palo, playmaking leap. Efficiency leap. We're in. Philadelphia 76ers, it's not all on Joel Embiid. That is true. This is quite the picture here. Quite the image, to say the least. But that is true. Sixers, I'm hopeful they're good. I want the East to be very competitive. I want a second-round Sixers-Celtics series. I think that'd be a blast. Phoenix Suns, goodbye turnovers. Tyus Jones, Monte Morris, 2 of the best assist-turnover ratio guys in the league. Let's see it. Goodbye turnovers. Hello, Kevin Durant at the 5. He's 36 years old, folks. Portland Trailblazers, a defensive identity appears afoot. Yeah. Klingen. They brought in Denny Avdia. That's right. They do have Matisse Thybulle. There's some good defensive pieces there. There were stretches last year where they were actually a pretty solid defense. They probably will be last in the West. But I feel like they're better than most last place teams usually. The West is just so tough. And just by nature of being at the bottom of it, you're going to get beat up quite a bit. I think Utah could actually be worse than Portland. What are the odds that Klingen ends up having a D-Live year? I would say it's more likely Khalil Ware has a D-Live year. You have to think about teams that are trying to be good. Denny first option hoops? No, he's not going to be the first option. Jeremy Grant will still be there. Ayton will still be there. Anthony Simons will still be there. Scoot, Shaden Sharp. How much did Ayton's stock drop in the last 2 years? Quite a bit. There's Ayton for Brandon Ingram. What's actually stopping that from happening? Would the Trailblazers even want to do that? And then the Blazers could trade Jeremy Grant somewhere else? Sacramento Kings, the offense is so back. Still not sold on this fit at all. Anyone against the Sacramento Kings acquisition of DeMar DeRozan is either put off by the team surrendering a 2031 pick swap. No, I don't really care about that. Aggrieved by supposedly offensive first team leaning further into that model. No, or both. No, that's not what I care about. No, I care about floor spacing, man. Dude, will the Kings make the playoffs? Maybe not. Should be fun to watch, though. San Antonio Spurs, 48 minutes of capable point guard play plus year 2 Wemby equals fire. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Will they be good? Probably not, but it'll still be fun. DeMar is better than Harrison Barnes, yes. Chris Paul, Trey Jones. That's crazy that the Spurs were with how terrible the record was, were a plus team when Trey Jones and Victor Wembanyama were on the floor together. It's kind of hard to find that type of stuff when teams are that bad. Minus 16 when Wemby played without Trey Jones. Jesus Christ. Toronto Raptors, initial returns on the core 4 were money. Core 4. Quickly, RJ, Scotty Barnes. Who's the 4th? Pirtle? Okay. Across almost 400 possessions without Pascal Siakam, lineups featuring that quartet posted a net rating of 13.5. Okay, wow. Nice. Nice. They'll be interesting. The Raptors will be interesting, I think. Don't sleep on what RJ's done. You know, I'm a big Scotty guy. Freeman Liberty. Utah Jazz. We've sort of seen this movie before. Remember the start of 2022, 2023 when many of us... Why is this trademarked? Were sure the Utah Jazz would be all in on the Victor Wembanyama draft. What's up with the trademark on many of us? I think the Jazz might suck shit this year. The more I think about it, I think they might be really bad. Washington Wizards, potentially frisky offense. Well, they just had to write something for the Wizards, folks. They just had to write something for them. All right, are we ready? Have we put this off long enough? The Raptors' core 4 is called Barbecue Dick. I'm trying to understand this one. Barrett, Barnes, Quickly, Dick. Are we ready? Come on, England. Come on, England. I'm excited about this. So, with my travels this summer, right, slightly global, going overseas, being in Europe during the Euros. I was in the Netherlands when they were in the quarterfinal of the Euros. Went to a pub, watched it. They won. It was electric. The streets were on fire afterwards. Then went to London, was in London when they won the semifinal. It was electric. City on fire afterwards. I decided I have to get involved. I want to be in. I've been wanting to be in on football. That's what us Brits call it, football. I want to be in on it. I want to be invested. I have family in London. I've been to London so many times. I go to London all the time. I have to have a team. Okay? I have to have a team. And I decided it's time for me to pick a team for the English Premier League. Now, in the past, I've supported, I'm using air quotes here, supported Manchester United. I didn't actually support them. Long story short, first time I went to Europe, I didn't realize that it wasn't 110 degrees everywhere in the world during the summer. And I needed to buy a jacket because it was actually cold. I didn't know that was possible in the summer. Walked into a store in London, and a Manchester United pullover was the first thing I saw and bought it. So that's why. But I didn't actually really root for him. So I need a new club, and I'm going with one of these three you see on the screen currently: Tottenham Hotspur, West Ham, Arsenal. Great clubs, fantastic clubs, folks. I'm excited about this because I tweeted this out, and immediately the replies, the responses, everyone yelling at everyone, everybody screaming at everyone. This club sucks. This club sucks. This club sucks. Fuck you. I hate your club. And it made me realize this is what I want. This is what it's all about, folks. This is why I want it in. This is why I want to be invested. It's been a tough decision for me. It really is. I know that I'm going to upset some people. I know that some of you are heavily invested. I know some of you guys ask me all the time. Slightly. How much money do you make? A lot. Slightly. Are all those clothes real? Yes. Slightly. Are you really tall? Yes. But beyond that, you guys ask me all the time, when am I going to start following football? Oh, man. And I know you guys are invested. I know how serious it gets. That's why I don't make this decision lightly. That's why I really did some soul searching. I looked deep within. I talked to family. I consulted with people. And look, I made my decision a couple of weeks ago. But something happened in the past week that made me question that decision. And I'll discuss it whenever I reveal what team this is, what club I'm going with. And I had to do some searching because I for the first time, I wasn't confident in my decision, but I needed that. I needed to do that soul searching. I needed to do that digging to see if I really wanted to root for this club. And it turns out that I did. And now I'm more confident in it than I've ever been. All three of these clubs are great clubs. And just full stop. If you're wondering, why'd you pick this club? Why'd you pick this club? I know nothing about football. Again, that's what us Brits call it. I know nothing about football. I know nothing about either of these teams. I couldn't I could probably name one player maybe on each team. I almost certainly couldn't name two or three. If you want to call me a bandwagon for whatever team I choose, I don't know the direction of either of these teams. I know that they're not the best, but I don't know how good they are. I'm going purely off of vibes and vibes only. And what just sounded right in my brain. Trying to picture myself rooting for each of these incredible clubs with plenty of history. We shan't wait any longer. The EPL team, that's what us Brits call the English Premier League, by the way. The EPL team that I will be supporting this upcoming season, and this is tough. I'll be taking my fandom to London. They're all in London. All three of the teams are in London. Oh, man. That's the joke, guys. That's the joke. That's the football club that I've decided that I will be rooting for this upcoming season. Come on, you Gunners! We're going with Arsenal. We are going with Arsenal. This will be the club that I am supporting this upcoming season. Gunners up. Now here's the reason Here's the reason. Join the most delusional fan base in the world. That's part of it. Here's the reason why I was hesitant. Now, I made my mind up weeks ago that I was going to choose Arsenal. But I grew a little hesitant because last week I discovered they call themselves the Gooners. That is what the fan base calls themselves. Gooners. So that made me think a little bit. All right. Is this really what I want? To be known as a fucking gooner? Because in my world, you know, gooner is akin to masturbation. And I don't know if I really want to be involved in that. However, this is the club that I ultimately went with. Here's the thing, guys, and here's the thing I need you to understand. Those of you who are disappointed in the chat, I apologize. I was going to disappoint somebody regardless. I have been told that Arsenal is very similar to certain DFW sports teams, mainly the Dallas Cowboys. What can I say? I'm a sucker for punishment. West Ham, I considered. From what I understand, and I mean this with all due respect, from what I understand about West Ham is their fans are fucking nuts. And I mean that in a good way. And it's a little intimidating. It's a little intimidating. And Tottenham, I considered it. It was close. Damn, it was close between Tottenham and Arsenal. Damn, it was close. Damn, Siley just supported the wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, Serbia, and all other illegal wars. I did? What'd I do? Hey guys, my bad. I don't support any of those wars. I'm excited, folks. Where are my Arsenal fans in the chat? Where are my Arsenal fans? Are there any? Tottenham are... Ivan, what are you on about, bro? Tottenham are Jews. You are not a Jew, are you? What are you fucking talking about, man? I'm timing you out. What are we doing in here? This isn't r/conspiracy. Okay? What Arsenal players you know? Adams. Adams. Arsenal have the second best odds to win. Oh, good. You should watch an Arsenal history video. Let's take a look at the squad. How are we looking this year, lads? Aaron Ramsdale. Oh, I've always said, if you could get Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Yep. Benchwarmer. Oh, okay. David Raya. I always said, if you can get David Raya in goal, experienced goalkeeper, David strengthened his reputation as one of the best in Europe. Okay. I'm being serious, guys. I want to get invested and I want to get involved. Now, I'm coming in. This could be a fun little thing. I'm coming in with genuinely no knowledge. No knowledge at all. I'm not trying to pretend to be something I'm not. I have no knowledge. Okay? And I want to know. I want to get to know. I would like to get to know. Connor, I see you, brother. Do you understand the game? No. Now, I talked to people and I was like, how do I get it? Like, I was talking to somebody. I was like, how do I get invested into it? They told me, play Football Manager. And I said, how can I do that? I know nothing of it. And they say, that's how you learn. It's a great way to learn. Any of you, can any of you attest to that? In your journey in this sport, what if you end up naturally liking another team? Would you switch? It's a great question. I'm on loan. Oh, I'm on loan. Yeah, but I'd imagine Football Manager can be intimidating for a new footy fan. That's what I said. And they said, no, you can change the settings as you go. Could you check my membership message whenever you get the chance? Oh, yeah, you probably sent it at a... Connor Phillips, 8 months of the Slightly Delusional Club. Why is soccer football exciting? Never gotten it. It is a beautiful game. Like, there's a lot of skill involved. That's why I've grown to really appreciate and love basketball over the years. It's such a beautiful game. There's so much skill required at the highest level, right? And here's just like a funny little tidbit here that I want to talk about is, I've had this ongoing sort of feud with some friends of mine about what's the easiest sport to play at a professional level. Now, do I know anything about playing sports at a professional level? Yes. Do most people? No. So most people, it's kind of a ridiculous conversation to have. However, I have long believed and will continue to believe that far and away the easiest sport to play at a professional level is American football, and it's not even fucking remotely close. And the reason why I say that is something like this as well. Trending Olympic gold medalist number 61, Gable Stevenson played defensive tackle for the Bills on Saturday. Gable is only 24 years old, and it was his first football game ever. So this guy's never played a game of American football in his life, and is playing a professional game in his first game. It's very physical trait based, athleticism based, strength based, which has its opinions, right? Which has its it's why it's fun. You watch huge, ginormous human beings crash into each other. But on top of that, quarterback, yes, of course, quarterback is a fucking hard position to play. Outside of that, though, however, basketball, who was the rugby player who they brought over? Usain Bolt was getting training camp invites. If you're uber athletic, you have a shot in the NFL. You just do. You just do. Basketball requires so much skill, and there's such a beauty to it. On top of, the physical attributes. Obviously, you have to be tall. You have to be athletic to play at the highest level, but that's pretty much anywhere. Football feels the same way. It does require quite a bit of skill. It does require a ton of skill, individual skill. So who are we rocking with, guys? Who are we rocking with? I want to buy a kit. I know Saka. The new era of football are less skilled, more athletic. The old era have more skilled players. Saka, is there lively? Really? Calafiori? I'd get Odie or Saka. They'll stay forever. You cited on Arsenal. I'm out. Unsubbing. See ya. Oh. Calafiori, he's the aura guy of the team. He's the aura. 15 facts you need to know. All right, let's know. He's packed a lot into his 22 years. So get up to speed here. 15 facts you need to know about our latest recruit. Hometown hero. Born in Rome 2002, Ricardo was signed by his local team, Roma, as an 8-year-old. Hey, bro. American sports need to get in on this shit. I'm being serious. I want the Dallas Mavericks to have a youth program, and we're bringing kids up. Vintage Henry party. Henry. How do you say Henry? Henry. Is that how you pronounce it? You'll get AAU and you'll like it. Henry. The weekend is wicked. $2. You're awesome and amazing, Sally Bias. Thank you. NBA owners should grow some balls and allow relegation. That would have to be. There'd have to be like 40 teams in the league. I don't think you can do relegation with 30 teams. You're gonna watch the Champions League too, right? So let me double check here real quick. Another big reason why I wanted to do this is I'm 90% certain that on playback.tv/slightly biased, you can do English Premier League games. Something random with the 2. You decided on Arsenal. I'm unsubbing. Oh, man. Arsenal are on a 20-year league trophy drought. Yeah, I wanted a team that's going to have to fucking pull it out of the mud. I'm not just going to walk in to a team that's already winning a million times. It's not fun. So let me see here. Real Madrid versus Atlanta. Oh, that's not Atlanta. Atalanta. I'm fairly certain. You could do Premier League games on here, but I'm not entirely sure. You should have some soccer reaction videos. Top notch should be Ronaldinho and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Later, you could watch some scrubs like Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. At Atlanta. It's Atlanta. Oh. Okay. Watch videos on Arteta, the manager, ex-Arsenal player turned manager. Got his first shot as manager for Arsenal. Really revamped the club. Very inspirational guy. That's what I like to hear. Something random with the 5. Arsenal, Tottenham are like Celtic, Lakers. So I did know that. But with actual pure hatred, for real, though, did you decide on the team? Just tuned in. Yes, I did decide to go Arsenal. Another big reason for that is I did mention I have quite a bit of family in London, and most of them are Arsenal fans. So that was a big reason for the pick. A big reason for the selection. Arsenal fans are kind of pricky, though. Everyone's going to say every fan base they don't like is pricky. Very Delulu. Hey, man. Hey. Don't know if you're aware or not. That's what we got going on, baby. Not only is that what it's all about, that's what it's always been about. How are you enjoying being a gooner? I love gooning. I love being a gooner. We'll get our Champs League draw on August 29th. Nice. I can't wait to see what we get. All right. I'm already going with we. Excited to see what we got cooking. For real though, I am excited. I'm not reading all 15 of these. What's now another thing that I need to learn quickly? What is the YouTube? How strict are we when we're talking copyright here? What exactly are we talking about? Very strict. Oh, don't love that. So if I put on, they'll delete immediately on Twitter. Oh. So if I watch Sky Sports Premier League's video here, I could get fucked. Is this our guy? Arsenal Gooner. Is this our guy right here? Fabrizio's got 2.2 million subs?
for Liverpool and Georgi Mamardashvili. News from this morning. Fabrizio here for all the latest. See you here in the chat, guys. Gonna update you on the latest.
Fabrizio's like the Woj. Oh, okay. All right. Fab is the Woj and Shams on steroids. Okay. All right. All right. Hey. Subscribe. Hey, I got to be in. I got to be in the know now.
News we have. Let me start. I see some questions on Tony to Saudi. This is not new. It's something that we said 3 days ago. Tony has a possibility to go to Saudi Pro League, and he received a proposal to go to Saudi Pro League. He's one of the strikers they have in the list at Al Ahly. Let's see if they can make it happen or not. But for sure, even Tony has a...
I'm telling you right now, this is my favorite type of content. And I'm actually being dead fucking serious. I'm not joking. Some random again with the 5. Spurs are like the true underdog, not a rich club trying to compete the right way. Prim has this problem with big investors sports washing. I hear what you're saying, and I have to tell you, it was very, very close. Tottenham was easily second. West Ham I just threw in. I'm sorry to disappoint you, buddy. West Ham was not really in consideration. I don't have love in my I don't have hate in my heart for my Tottenham Hotspur followers. I love you guys still.
Possibility in Saudi. I told you, I think it was last week or so, and so there is a possibility. Let's see what Ivan Toney decides to do. He's the player who has to decide what he wants to do for his future. Then, guys, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go straight to the point on
right,
the story.
I don't know what this guy's talking about. I don't know who these guys are, but I like it. Webcam, shitty quality, lagging in and out. That's the best type of content, man. Just sit down and talk. That's what we want. We want to hear you talk. Do Premier League fantasy? I'll think about it. I follow, as you guys know, I follow the NBA religiously, and I am horrendous at fantasy basketball. Just horrendous. I know the Saudi League. How Arsenal fixed their biggest issue. This is like thinking basketball or something.
Here we are driving down the road, and all of a sudden, bang! Oh! There is a crack in our windshield. You know what we can.
Despite Arsenal being one of the best teams in the country over the last few years, they have just missed out on the Premier League title to Man City both times. Now, while a lot of
this is our year, though.
People expect Arsenal to finally win the Premier League title this season, it is still going to be a very hard task for the team to do.
Some ran with another 5. Honestly, this is my last stream. No! Don't say that. Don't say that. My pride won't allow me following a gooner. We'll tune in on Mav streams occasionally. Come on, man. Don't say that. If you think basketball doesn't have good metrics to compare players, you shouldn't watch football. Are you saying there's no good metrics? I don't care about it. You want to know what my 2 favorite metrics are for basketball? My 2 favorite metrics for basketball. Gooners does have it's a hard ending to it. The 2 best metrics for basketball. Left eye, right eye. So the less metric, the better. No kitchen sink. That's why I wanted in. I saw kitchen sink and I said, I gotta get out. I have to build a pipeline somewhere else just to escape if needed. Are you gonna follow Team USA as well? Oh yeah. That's a big reason too. The next World Cup, 2 years, 2026 in the United States. Obviously, not only in the United States, but there will be several matches in Dallas, and I 1,000,000% plan on going to at least one. You just have to, right? You have to experience it. So I want to be invested. And Team USA, I really feel that patriotic spirit when it comes to Team USA in football, because we fucking suck. We're terrible. And so you root for them. You root for them to finally do something that's not embarrassing. What's the time difference between you and the UK? Yeah, 6 hours. It's very hard to do these analysis videos, and they are mostly wrong. The pundits are useless, and there's nothing to base anything off of. That's the beauty of it. Nice. Team USA is on the up in football. They've been saying that for 20 plus years. They've genuinely been saying that for 20 plus years. Who was the guy you said is a Mavericks fan? Bronco? 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 NBA fan turned soccer fan. All right, this is what I'm talking about. I have to hit my guy up. Watch the show. Welcome to Wrexham. Okay. Can I be honest with you guys? And here's the thing. Ryan Reynolds, there's just something about him. He's a funny guy. There's just something about him. Okay? Can't quite put my finger on it. Can't quite put my finger on it. And that feels shitty to say, because it's not like he's done anything that I know of, at least. Bro, I've seen somewhere that he is a billionaire. Isn't he like a massive billionaire? Didn't he sell his phone company for like $14 billion or something? He's always on camera, jokey comedian mode. I mean, he is a funny dude, but there is like so comparing Ryan Gosling, it has a more genuine feeling vibe, if that makes sense. They're both kind of similar. They're both sort of similar-ish. Gosling feels very, very... Watch Clueless American's Guide to the Premier League. Weekend is Wicked has chatted $2. We got a slightly soccer before the Star stream. I really dropped the fucking ball in the Star stream, huh? Didn't we do that, though? Did we not do a Star stream? I thought we did. Didn't we like combine them? Didn't we do a Stars game during a Mavs game or something? Gosling is definitely more versatile. That is true. That much is true. Clueless American Premier League. All right, let's do it. Clueless American's Guide to the Premier League 2023-2024. Is there an updated version of this? The Fat Asian. What this guy's name is. I'm not calling him that.
Meet the Asian nerd.
Clueless American's Guide to Picking a Premier League Team. Should I have watched this first? Hold on, let's watch this one.
Energizer's 3-in-1 Child Shield is the world's first coin lithium battery that has 3 different safety features.
Well, hello there, my fellow American.
Hey.
I know that we are in the passionate throes of the NFL season. And for some of you, your team is killing it. You drafted David Chain for your fantasy team, and life is good. But I'm pretty sure that's only a few of you. Because let's be honest, for most of it all, your team is already letting you down. I mean, Jets fans, you're useless, but Patriots fans, I know that you are not useless.
As a season ticket holder, I'm too invested in Tottenham. I'm truly hurt. Football rivalries, EU and South America, are different. They mean more than success. It's hard to explain. Anyways, last money I'm giving. Some random. This is really making me upset. I'm sorry that I upset you this much. Understand that no thought went into this other than vibes, and
You are not properly inoculated against this level of suck. And if you're like me in fantasy, half your starters are already on your IR. So for all my homies whose seasons already ended before they ever started, I have the remedy for you. I present to you the NFL of Europe, the Premier League. And since, coincidentally, their season starts right around the same time as the NFL, we have gotten enough of a sample size to see who are the pretenders and who are the contenders. And in this video, I'm going to give you a quick Spark Notes overview on all the juicy storylines, big-time players, and the surprise teams of the year so far. And hopefully, by the end of all this, I'll have you primed and ready to bandwagon a team in the Premier League for the 2023-2024 season.
no bandwagoning. No bandwagoning.
Because you deserve it, Chicago Bears fans. Before we get into the good teams, let's talk about the mean teams. By mean teams, I'm talking about historically good, perennial top four, powerhouse clubs that have hoisted the Premier League trophy many a time.
Right.
But so far this season, have sucked utter dog shit. And to make this translate for Americans, I'll use a couple of video game analogies. First up are my beloved Manchester United. Yes, I'm a fan. Yes, I am biased. And
See, here's the thing, right? This is what I used to be.
the way that I look
Had
at
to get out. Had to get out.
Manchester United is they are like that one gaming studio that just used to be magical. Game after game, they couldn't miss. Simply amazing. They never let you down. But then, they got bought out by some greedy corporate fucks. They cared more about making money than the product that they ended up giving you. So basically, they're Blizzard. Or more accurately, Blizzard Activision. Okay. Because before Activision, they were untouchable.
That's why I got out. I don't support that. I don't support that kind of behavior. Not in my club. That's not how my club's going to operate.
In the 90s and early 2000s. I mean, come on. StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Warcraft 3, Diablo 2. Bruh. That was basically the class of 92. But now with their new fucking greedy-ass owners, the brand name has been driven right into the ground. Yes, there's been a couple of hopeful seasons here and there, but never anything close to approaching the glory days of the 2000s and 90s. And now this year, half of their starting roster has been hurt. The players that are actually
It's not what I'm interested in.
healthy have been playing like shit.
It does sound exactly like the Dallas Cowboys.
And their new keeper is a literal meme generator. He's had more memes than saves this year. And what's crazy is I still believe in this manager. I think he actually knows his shit. He's a protege of Pep Guardiola. And if you want to know more, I go into painstaking detail about it in this video. I think it's right here. But the skinny of it is, expectations were sky high after a shock third place finish last year. And what has been a kick to the nuts is this season is pretty much over before it even started. We're toiling in mid-table, in dead rock bottom of the group in Champions League. It is
Can't go with any mid teams, man.
sobering to realize that this is going to be yet another rebuild year in a decade of rebuild years. And if it stays like this, we'll be lucky even to make top six. It's back to the banter era of Man United. And then we have Chelsea Football Club. And Chelsea is like if you made an American 12-year-old play FIFA Career Mode for the first time.
All right, can somebody explain this to me, my football people? So I hear this type of term. Rebuilding. This is a rebuilding year. So just my American sport brain, rebuilding year, it makes sense because you're bad, you tank, you get draft picks, whatever. It's like the way that you improve your team and your roster. What like entails a rebuilding year in a league that doesn't really have that? Is it just we have a bunch of young players and we're just going to give our young players a shot? Is that kind of how it operates? We have academies and sign young players from South America. Rebuilding means they're ass and they need a new narrative. Oh, okay. Sell players, buy new ones. Rebuilding means you are shit. All right. It's not a rebuild like what you think it is. They spent $1 billion in 2 years.
And they just wanted to buy all the best young high potential players. So they turned on the unlimited budget, but they forgot they were playing on Legendary. Yes, he's got the money. He's got all the young high potential players. But it might not be until FIFA 26 where skill level is good enough for him to win. Their new American owner, Todd Bowley, has spent over $1 billion on this team, and they somehow look worse than they did last year. When I originally wrote this piece, they had won one game the entirety of the season. They were 2 points out of the relegation zone, and their only win came against fellow relegation fighters, Luton Town, a team whose away end looks like this. Looks like Detroit. And what's crazy...
Hey. Sounds like the Brooklyn Nets almost. Or do the Cowboys only employ dumbasses? Probably, yeah. Rams not happy about Cowboys defensive tackle Albert Huggins knocking down a member of their staff. What the fuck was that guy got going on? This is why I'm shifting my attention to the Premier League, right? Because I just can't. Can't support that.
This team just 3 years ago was the best team in Europe. Yeah, not too long ago, they were challenging for the Premier League. But since Roman Abramovich was forced to sell the team because Putin attacked Ukraine, Chelsea has absolutely cratered into the ground. At this point, it's hard to say.
Wait, what? Is that true? Wait, what did he say?
And what's crazy is this team just 3 years ago was the best team in Europe. Yeah, not too long ago, they were challenging for the Premier League. But since Roman Abramovich was forced to sell the team because Putin attacked Ukraine, Chelsea has absolutely cratered into the ground. At this point, it's hard to say which overwhelming force has been utterly destroyed harder by underdogs, Chelsea or
Cowboys fans, we got to band together to somehow tie Jerry Jones to the Russian occupation of Ukraine. Is there any way we could do that?
Russia. And actually, if you think about it, the similarities are uncanny. Both have way more firepower, both have spent way more money, and both have racist fans. But jokes aside, I honestly thought that with the amount of talent that they had bought over the last 3 windows, that it would be inconceivable that they wouldn't improve. They hired Mauricio Pochettino, who I personally don't rate, but the man took Spurs to second place in the Premier League not too long ago. Yet here they are, just as shit as ever. I guess you can kind of blame injuries, but unlike Man United, this team actually has depth. They have too many good players. It's impressive that they haven't found a way to win. There's a similar theme between the mean teams.
You can only laugh at Chelsea.
Is that shit ownership will spoil the bunch. And it seems like Bowley and the Glazers are rotten to the core. And until they are cut out, like the tumors they are, the cancer will spread to every limb and orifice of this organization. Which is why I still have a little bit of hope for Manchester United, because they might actually be sold within the next year. But Chelsea fans, you're fucked. But hey, at least Mudryk finally scored, so you can finally stop seeing those 007 memes. Like, Jesus Christ, that meme was going on for so long. It was like 0032. Alright, now you know who to laugh at the rest of the season. Which honestly these days was just as important than choosing a team to root for. But before we get into the odds-on favorites, the front runners, let's give something for all the cool kids in the back. Who are all the football hipsters, the Premier League connoisseurs supporting this year? Well, these 3 teams have emerged as kind of the breakouts, the dark horses of the season so far. Now, let me preface this. They're probably not going to win the league. In fact, there's no guarantee that they'll be good by the end of the year. But if you want to support the Miami Dolphins of the Premier League this year, these 3 teams are the new hotness. And first up, it's got to be them. It's Brighton. Brighton Hove Value. And really,
Was Brighton the team that got... Oh, let me hear him.
this isn't new hotness. This is just continued hotness. This is the Megan Fox of hotness. Because they are like some algorithm nerd who's playing Football Manager in real life. Like, I mean, they are just scouting random South American children, college students from Japan, and Barcelona rejects to create just a delightful aisle of misfit toys. They are somehow playing Moneyball in an era where Moneyball wasn't even possible anymore. Their owner, who's been a lifelong fan of Brighton, comes from a background in sports betting and data analysis. And whatever cutting-edge algorithm he's been using has transformed Brighton's recruitment department into not just the best in the Premier League, but quite possibly the best in the world right now. Yeah, I said it. While the Man Cities and Real Madrids of the world have been...
I like Brighton. They might be my second team. I like what I'm hearing from them. Fans are known as Glazers and Gooners. Where these names come from? No, Glazers was the last name of the owners of Manchester United.
Bigger budgets. None of these teams are buying players for a handful of millions and turning around and selling them for £100 million just a couple seasons later. And their manager, Roberto De Zerbi, has just been shattering the football meta for the last year. He's that one dude in League of Legends who just counterpicks the right champion at the right time. He's been taking these kids and just giant slaying the best that the Premier League has to offer, all with a fraction of their budget. People just ain't ready for the unorthodox style of this team. A team who was only promoted in 2017 and are now seemingly challenging for a top 6 position for many years to come. They're recruiting, managing, and playing football the right way. It's beautiful.
The Tampa Bay Rays. That is the Tampa Bay Rays right there. You know what's crazy is this doesn't work in basketball. You can't like moneyball your way, which I guess he said that it doesn't really work in football either, but like basketball, you absolutely cannot moneyball your way anywhere. You're not going to be successful.
Attractive, often dazzling football to watch. And with a lovable cast of characters, if you're just looking for an underdog story to support this year, this is it. This is the one team that all the neutrals are rooting for. It's Brighton. Even I have fallen victim to the charm. I made an entire video profiling one of their players, Kaoru Mitoma, who literally wrote his college thesis paper on how to dribble. The man studied his way to becoming a professional winger in the Premier League, which is the most Asian shit I've ever heard of. But yeah, easily the number 1 hipster pick. It's Brighton. Next on the list are the villains. Now let me take you back to where Aston Villa was just a year ago. Now Aston Villa, at this point last year, were one position.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to fast forward to Arsenal. What does he have to say about us?
And number 3 is Liverpool.
Fast forward to the top 3 naturally.
Because Liverpool are back, baby. This has been a complete inverse of how they started last season. They have sprung out of the rather quick. And as we're recording this, the injury bug has kind of sneaked in. Gakpo went down in the loss of Tottenham, which, side note, that's a game they should have won. But the problem is the British haven't figured out.
Which one is LeBron a fan of? Is LeBron Arsenal or Liverpool? He's Liverpool, isn't he? Okay, Liverpool. That's what I thought. All right. I'll watch Tottenham. I'll watch Tottenham.
To say, oh, the ass-ton villains, then this is the team for you. And for my 3rd surprise team of the season, honestly, it's the most shocking of all, because it's Spurs. Tottenham should not be here. And by that I mean, I had zero faith, absolute zero, that they would do anything positive this year, because they were completely hopeless last season. Then to start this year, they sold the 2nd greatest goal scorer in Premier League history. And simply, throughout their entire history, they have been a perpetual afterthought of a top 4 team.
Top spur? No. What's that?
When they were looking for a coach, they didn't get any of the hottest names in the managerial market. In fact, by most accounts, they settled on their 2nd, maybe even 3rd choice in an Australian, Ainge Kostakoglu. Yeah, I'm sure you've never heard of him too. Most of his roster is pretty much the same for the team that disappointed last year, and their only big name purchase was James Madison, who came from a Leicester team that just got relegated. There was zero optimism from their fan base heading into this year. And I personally spent as little time on them as possible in the previous show because they just always find a way, a new way to disappoint. But then the season started, and they just kept on fucking winning. In fact, as of recording this, they're undefeated.
Their stadium is beautiful. I have seen it.
Besting the likes of Liverpool, Manchester United, and tying Arsenal to put themselves, let me check, top of the league over Manchester City. This is nothing short of an act of God. Now, the 3 Costa Coglu truthers that are going to watch this video should have said that we all saw this coming because the man has succeeded pretty much at every team he's coached. But I have to believe that not even them thought that he would take the Premier League by storm like this. The Aussie has completely transformed Spurs, taking an underperforming but talented roster.
No, it's a nice looking stadium.
And fitting them into a system that has since beamed this roster back into fantastic form. James Madison has always been considered a quality player at Leicester, but now, with an elevated cast around him, he is now playing his way into becoming England's first choice number 10. The defensive midfielder Basuma is now becoming the sentinel that we thought he was going to become under Antonio Conte. And the front 3 of Richarlison, Kulusevski, and the kimchi god himself, Heung-min Son, has somehow looked more dangerous now than they did with Harry Kane. And all of this is thanks to Big Ainge. And if you look at it...
Wow, Harry Kane, Ewing theory candidate. They're better without him. Wow. Bubba with the $5.99. I'm really happy that you decided to join Arsenal. If you have any questions, you can always ask. Well, thank you, Bubba.
Costa Coglu has pretty much been the second choice.
I do know Son, yes.
And doubted wherever he's gone his entire career because he doesn't have the pedigree. He doesn't come from a part of the world. He hasn't coached in a part of the world that people respect when it comes to football. He made his bones coming up in Australia and coaching in the Asian leagues. And because of that, this has allowed a sleeping monster to grow, develop, right underneath the noses of Europe. And now, through maybe just dumb pure luck, Spurs has stumbled onto maybe the next great managerial talent in world football. The man is looking like Australian Alex Ferguson. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, okay? At the end of the day, it's still Spurs, and the season is very young. Plus, this roster...
So they shitted themselves the rest of the way? That's what you guys are saying? This was 9 months ago, so right after the season started. Spurs also 3 games on purpose, so Arsenal didn't win the league. No!
While talented is incredibly thin, but there is no denying what is happening at Tottenham is special. And I can't believe that I'm going to be saying this, but Tottenham fans should be hopeful. And for neutral Americans, if you want to root for the Chicago Cubs of Premier League football, this is your team. But I come with fair warning, they're probably going to fuck it up still. Now, I have one more honorable mention, and that is Newcastle. Because these motherfuckers beat Man City and cracked PSG's cheeks in the Champions League 4-1.
All right, let's get...
In fact, they are quickly proving this year.
Let's get to the Gunners.
Look, Pep Guardiola, that should won the league. Their new 100 classic, historic franchise that play exciting, rapid attacking football. The Liverpool is a team for you. Also, LeBron James owns part of it. So if you're a LeBron James hater, now you know the team to hate. Now coming in at number 2, it's so far so good for Arsenal. They look pretty much like the team from last season that should have won the league. Their new 100-pound signing Declan Rice has been a notable upgrade for...
Whoa, what's with the Succession thing? Now, I gotta say, Succession is probably my favorite show of all time. What's going on there? Is there a tie? Or is that just so...
them in the midfield, even bagging a few late game winners. Saka continues to do his shy boy assassin shit, and Mikel Arteta finally got his first win over his former master, Pep Guardiola. It took a lucky-ass deflection to do it, but winning's winning. And in fact, in the big moments against the biggest teams this year, Arsenal have looked like they had to believe that they possess the clutch gene. The issue is that they also looked the same way last year, and then they faded down the final stretch. But let's give the lads some credit. They do not look...
Aura. Look at all that aura.
An ounce discouraged about how they finished last year. In fact, they're quickly proving that last season is not going to be a one-season wonder. No, they're building something special at Arsenal right now. And with them possessing one of the youngest squads in the league, it's terrifying to think that they still haven't reached their potential. There's just so many young, fantastic, exciting players here. Saliba kept Erling Haaland in his pocket the entirety of the match. Martin Odegaard looking like a young Mesut Ozil out there. And all of them looking hungrier than ever. But they are at number 2 because at the end of the day, they're trying to be an imitation of the GOAT. And there's no shame in that. If you're going to model your game after someone else, model after the best. And they're a great imitation at that. The way I like it, they're Digimon. The problem is, Man City is Pokemon. Digimon's not.
Digimon, huh? That's our comparison? Digimon? Digimon's cool. Arsenal or Thunder? Is that really a great... Yeah, Man City wins every year. Why am I actually excited for this to start? It's hilarious because I genuinely don't know really anything. Mbappe's debut right now. OKC is a great comparison. Okay, you guys know I do like the Thunder. I'm a big Shea guy. Oh, so who's Shea? Saka? Okay. Is OKC going to struggle with lack of ball handlers? I think they are not going to win the same amount of games as last season. Is OKC going to struggle with lack of ball handlers? I mean, J-Dub's going to actually have to take a scoring leap which he does in the regular season, but it has to get there in the regular season. Or, I'm sorry, in the postseason. So there's this Giddy situation on Arsenal. Look, we don't support that. We don't support that. And as a fan, I would rather him be gone than him be on the club. Just personally. Just personally. Arsenal have an insane number of Josh Giddies. What does that even mean? What does that even mean, bro? Are they like a danger to the society? Are they dangerous? uh, oh God. Let's see what DraftKings has to say, shall we? Our first game is on Saturday. I believe at 9 in the morning. I'll see if I'm able to stream that on playback. I'm not entirely sure yet. I think so. Have you guys ever watched a playback stream of a football game? Thomas Partey was accused a year ago for attempted, but was never convicted or even charged, so we don't know if it happened or not. Oh, God. They played at the Londoner, local Arsenal bar. Really? The Londoner in Addison? That's an Arsenal bar? I've been to the Londoner a few times. Interesting. I went to the Londoner in Addison. I want to say the 20. When was the last World Cup? 2018 had a World Cup, right? 2018 World Cup. I went to the Londoner it was like 6 in the morning because England was playing. 6 in the morning, and it was a shit show. It was a complete and total shit show. It was jam-packed. People were fucked up. Throwing beer everywhere. It was actually a ton of fun. Liverpool versus Ipswich. Should be an easy win for our boys, for our lads. Liverpool minus 280. It could have been versus Croatia. I don't remember exactly who it was against. England it did win. I remember that. Oh wait, my bad. I don't know why I was looking at Liverpool. Sorry. Arsenal's taking on the Wolves. Oh, and our lads are big favorites. Should be a lot of fun. They lost to Croatia in the semis. I would love to go. Every time I've been to London, I've been to London 4 times. I always go during the summer when it's the off season. I need to go in season and go to a match. I honestly don't even care who it is. I just want to go. So let's see. Do they have team futures? Wow. Hey, that's close. Man City plus 140, Arsenal plus 160. Oh, shit. Wait, we're in business. I'm genuinely being honest with you guys. I did not know this. I I genuinely did not know this. Bandwagoner. Man City's basically already won. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we have to say about that. I made a 10,000 bet on Spurs to win. Ipswich. I'm assuming it's Ipswich. Do they have the Champion League? Or the Championship League? Who's getting out of this one? I have family that my England family is they're Arsenal fans in the EPL. But most of them are diehard Sunderland fans. Oof. Their back is up against the wall. The Stadium of Light. Well, I'm excited. Hey, I'm being serious. We're gonna maybe I try to learn something new before each stream, and then we have our little EPL conversations on stream. I'm still trying to figure out stream schedule. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday right now, but when the season starts, I want to figure out what I want to do in terms of streaming. I haven't quite figured it out yet. You guys support the opposites of your relatives. That's what I thought. That's what I initially thought about doing. But then it just became, it would be fun just to have a little connection there. Watch Newcastle Arsenal highlights from 2011. I'm a little bit scared right now of watching highlights because I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what the situation is there. Not entirely sure. Maybe we'll try to learn something new each day, then talk about it. I know it's not basketball, but you know it's August, man. And there's not a lot to talk about. Like we get on here and debate whether or not Drew Holiday should be a Hall of Famer. Like, is that what you guys want to do? Have a Drew Holiday Hall of Fame debate? That's like really where we're at. Talk about the NBA schedule. You know, what's there to discuss? And by the way, in terms of Drew Holiday Hall of Fame, no. Sorry, no. No. Drew Holiday should not make the Hall of Fame. Okay? I know he's a Hall of Fame lock. He's going to make it. He should not make it. I'm sorry. He should not make it. I very much respect Drew Holiday as a player here. He's incredible. Hall of Very Good, role player, Hall of Fame, first ballot, no doubt about it. But at a certain point, like, do you need to make an All-NBA team to make the Hall of Fame? Like, do you need to make an All-NBA team at some point? Who the fuck is spamming me on DMs right now? Do a stream where you go over what you think the Hall of Fame requirement should be. Whoever this is getting blocked. Holiday should have a Defensive Player of the Year. And if Drew Holiday spent his entire career in Boston, he would have gotten one. The fact that Marcus Smart has a Defensive Player of the Year and Drew Holiday doesn't is a damn joke. Okay? Now, we don't need to get into that. It's a complete and total joke. Drew Holiday's Hall of Fame case. Two-time champion. And, you know, a big player on both those teams, but third best player on the Bucks. Chris Middleton was most certainly their second best player at that time. Giannis first best player. Where would we put him on this Celtics team? Flores 100 for Jamie. Don't have Venmo, so please get this to him. That is incredibly kind of you. And I will ensure that gets to him. I'll do it right after this stream. Jeez, what a incredibly kind gesture by Flores, the GOAT. Spurs fan base welcomes you. Expectations are low, but enthusiasm is at an all-time high. I got bad news. Who's Jamie? A Mavs fan who has fallen on some tough times and has asked for some assistance. Anyways, I personally don't really think Drew Holiday's a Hall of Famer, but I understand the requirements to get in have lowered over time. And so he will get in. But we're going to get, like, there's going to come a point in time where it's the requirements get lower and lower, and we're just letting guys in. And then 50, 60 years from now, it's going to be like the sixth best player on this team is in the Hall of Fame now. Yeah, it's funny. I was reading an NBA thread about on r/NBA about Drew Holiday being a Hall of Famer, and there were people in there arguing for Drew Holiday while saying Kyrie Irving should not be in it. And it's like, what? What's the biggest thing he's missing in your opinion? I mean, an All-NBA team. Like, could you realistically make the Hall of Fame if you were not at any point in time in your career considered a top 15 player in the league? And I would go even further and say top 20. Like Drew at no point in time was ever considered really a top 20 player in the league. That's what I thought too. Vince Carter was kind of a shaky one, and he got in first ballot. But let's say Boston wins a couple more and he was retiring with 4 rings. That does change it a little bit. Okay, I apologize. I wasn't getting spammed. I was not getting spammed. It was just Twitter being weird. He looked like a Hall of Famer in the finals. I mean, he's really good. He's great. I don't even like doing this because it sounds like I'm shitting on Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is incredible and amazing. And I won't be mad or anything if he makes Hall of Fame. I just don't think he should. Sean Marion was brought up. Sean Marion was better than Drew at his peak. Sean Marion was getting MVP votes. Ginobili is different. That gold medal in 2004 was almost, he could have retired right then and there. The real comparison is Michael Cooper, who was on the Laker teams, was a 5-time champion, 8-time all defense, was never really, Drew Holiday better offensively than Michael Cooper was. The thing is, Michael Cooper did get a defensive player of the year, but this was a different time. Guards won this award quite frequently around this time, so it was a different time. And yeah, honest to God, I don't know if Michael Cooper realistically deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And he got in as a player because he did win, I think, 2 rings as a coach in the WNBA. Was also an All-American in college. But also, I know individual defense is important, and Drew is certainly good at it, but team defense is way more important. I don't think it's a coincidence defenses are really good wherever Drew goes. But oh well, like I said, I don't really care that much. I just don't think he should. People are like, well, Michael Cooper got in. Well, I don't think Michael Cooper should have got in. Okay. All right, folks, that'll be it for me. I have a Bleacher Report stream tomorrow. I'm not sure the time yet. I'll have to figure out if we can push it back. I have to figure out if we can push it back just because. Short ass stream. 2 hours in the middle of August. That's about as good as you're going to get. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out. All the OGs, guys, I love you very much. Could have spent your Wednesday afternoon anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. Thank you all very much. Flores, thank you very much for that. I'm going to do that right now. Something random, I'm sorry that I broke your heart. I apologize. You guys hope the Mavs of the championship at Arsenal go bankrupt. Prim streams win. Hopefully Friday or Saturday. I mean, I'll see. I'll see if playback is if that's a thing. All right, love you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you all tomorrow. Stream on Friday. You guys know the drill. Love you all. Bye.